But actually, yoga is an ancient science of self-transformation. Probably it's the oldest science of self-development. And the reason I call it science is because um, it gives you step-by-step gradual methods of how to reach balance, harmony in your practical and spiritual life both. So I use methods of yoga, techniques, philosophies, attitudes to make our practical, spiritual, financial, economic life harmonious and peaceful.
And where have you been interacting with people?
I travel around the world. I teach around 15 countries, and uh, understanding people and trying to help them out.
What are the problems that people usually have?
It's interesting. All through my traveling, I've understood that though we are all different superficially, gender, race, religion, country, boundaries, hemisphere, our main issues are the same. And that's why my work takes me everywhere, and my work through yoga is applicable everywhere. Doesn't matter if the people are poor, if they are millionaires, if they're businessmen, if they're monks, doesn't matter. The methods of yoga work on everybody because it works on human mind, and human mind is the same beyond boundaries.
I already heard you sometimes,
Mhm.
and I like it very much.
Mhm.
And one of the most pleasant things is your way of putting things in simple ways.
Mhm.
Can we have, so we can record it, those three problems that you usually face with people all around the world?
Yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, I was at an airport, and I was just waiting for my next flight, and I realized that I was just thinking about people and problems, and I was slightly a little compassionately um, you can say unhappy about the nature of our issues around the world. And I realized on deep contemplation that our basic suffering comes from maximum two or three main issues. Number one is fear, basic insecurity. Number two is the issues that are related to self-esteem and self-love and not finding your own place in the scheme of things. And number three, which is slightly deeper, is finding your own purpose. So between insecurity, between self-esteem and self-worth and purpose, all our problems and sufferings are coming from these three important variables, I feel.
So we can understand, can we have examples of this kind of problem, this kind of issues? What people face when they are dealing with these problems?
You see, let's take the first issue, the issue of insecurity. Now, a simple principle, a simple spiritual principle that I usually talk about is, and it's a very basic principle, love unites, fear separates. It's a simple principle that is applicable around the world, across species. When you live in basal insecurity, the other person becomes the enemy. Because fear separates. When you look and feel everything as fearful, whoever comes in your path will not be looked at out of love and compassion, but will be looked at out of fear and insecurity. And that fear and insecurity immediately creates a divide, even in the first interaction. And that fear and insecurity creates the other reactions like jealousy, competitiveness, hatred, anger, and there goes our whole beautiful chance of interacting with the other person in a beautiful, humanly way. So, unless and until we work on our fear issues, deep insecurity issues, and close the gap between us and them, we will have conflicts around the world. May it be interpersonal conflicts, national conflicts, or border conflicts. Unless we recognize the basal unity between each and every human being across and beings across species, we will keep living in this zone of fear.